I think we have just experienced another team situation because did anybody else know I didn't do anything, but all of a sudden I got this recording has started and the recording has stopped saving. So we'll see what we actually have here. I have a feeling that this is going to be only the people who joined us today are going to get the benefit of this wonderful presentation that we just put on. All right, let's get going. It is October 18th, 2023, and today we have a full component of Sympraxians to talk about new teams features. Oh, I can't do air quotes when I'm on Avatar. All right, we're going to dive right in it. This is going to be one of those calls where nobody is in particular has any slides to talk about except our one lone fruit computer person who will be talking about the limitations from Mac's perspective. But we're going to just go through, and so feel free to come off mute if you've used any of these new features and let us know your experiences with them, etc. We would love to just sort of have a chat about all of them. So I'm generally going to lead us through. These are the things we're going to talk about. If anybody has a new feature they like specifically too, put it in the chat and we'll address that. So let's move forward and talk about multiple accounts now. So in my opinion, if I had to pick one thing about new teams that actually is awesome and works great, it's the multiple accounts and tenant switching piece. Yeah, I agree with Emily's avatar. It's mind-blowing that this finally works. So essentially what this allows us to do, the people reacting in avatars is like killing me. I keep looking over at them and it's making me laugh. Okay.
There are too many buttons. I can't even figure them out.
We're all lost. Okay, so essentially what this allows you to do is add multiple Microsoft accounts into Teams so that you can switch between those accounts, and it switches really pretty fast.
Microsoft Work or School, not Microsoft accounts.
Yes, sorry, I should have been a little more clear. I did mean Work and School accounts, not just Microsoft accounts, but you can add multiple Microsoft accounts, Work and School accounts, and then you can switch between those accounts. So I have an MVP tenant that has the bottom headshot there, and then I have the Sympraxis one, which is the top one. And in the Sympraxis one, I'm part of a bunch. I'm a guest in a bunch of organizations. I'm also a guest in a couple of organizations with my MVP account. So I can switch between those two accounts pretty readily. It switches quite quickly. And if I want, and it also, you can see the little head at the top up there. And if I can use the new Teams presenting things, which I may or may not be able to do, yeah, you can see this right? You can see this little notification icon up there. What's interesting is that notification icon gives you notifications for both of these accounts. So if you have multiple accounts, that notification will light up for all of the accounts and all of the organizations you belong to. So you'll be able to see there's a notification, you'll be able to click on that. And if you click on the notification, it takes you to that place where that item is, be it in a different account and or a different org. So to me, this is like next level awesome. This has made my life significantly easier. I was willing to use the new Teams client very early on when the full fidelity wasn't there just because of this feature. So I'm a real huge fan. Derek, do you have anything to say about it?
I love it. And it works on the Mac.
And it does work on the Mac. Okay.
Happy Mac.
Yeah.
Happy Mac.
It is super speedy on the Mac, and it does let you, do all the, it is full feature parity here. And I agree with Julie, huge game changer for me trying to access the million tenants that I'm in.
Yeah. I have not tried this yet. Microsoft promised us like 5 years ago that this was going to be coming in a few months, and it just kept never coming. And I felt like Charlie Brown with the football every time something would happen. And so I haven't let myself believe this is reality yet.
It does work.
I hear that.
It does work.
Yeah.
I've been hurt before.
So Greg said in the chat that it doesn't work on VDI. which I guess I'm not surprised about. Virtual desktop, I'm assuming VDI is that we're using that acronym for that. I guess I'm not surprised.
Although wasn't that one of the features, Julie, that we saw that it had updated VDI support?
Oh, maybe. I
Let
don't
me go
remember
see if I
that
can
one.
find that.
Yeah,
Yes,
go
it
double
was.
check.
It's coming up. It's coming
Oh,
up.
It's coming up.
Not
Okay.
available yet.
Top of mind.
Okay. Awesome.
Top of mind.
In
Yes.
Microsoft speak.
Yeah,
I
when it
got to
comes
put my glasses on. Now I can see you all.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's fantastic. I don't know what happened to your hair, but that's fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, it's the only hair that looks like my hair is ladies' hair, I think.
that should tell you something. I mean, there's
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Yes, nothing at all wrong with that. All right. Okay, so another feature, and this is one that we laughed laughed. Man, we were not happy about this actually. The see new posts at top. Essentially what this allows you to do is on a channel by channel basis, you can change where you see new posts, either have them scrolling in from the top and thereby the start a post is at the top, or scrolling in from the bottom and thereby start a post is at the bottom. And I think maybe what happened is while it was rolling out, they were flip-flopping things on you, because we were having like Teams on the web client behaving differently than Teams on the desktop client without that drop down saying see where the posts show up. So like getting confused, like, wait, I can't post anything in the chat, and then finally finding the see the post. I mean, I don't know that I care. I don't know if others from Praxians have an opinion, but I don't know that I care if it's on the bottom or the top. I just want it consistent. And so the idea that you can change it on a channel by channel basis sounds insane to me. And the one thing I don't know, and I don't know if anybody can confirm or deny, if you change it, is this just for you or is this for the channel all up?
I believe it's just for you.
Yeah. And I will say I don't mind being able to change it per channel, but I hate that there's not also a setting for the tenant to like set the default for the tenant and then have you be able to change it per.
Right. Well, and hopping from tenant to tenant is a bit jarring because different tenants are in different sort of rollout stages, right? Some don't have the new teams, so you're going to have things the old way, and some have the new teams, and so they default to the posts at the top. So you just have to sort of get used to setting your option as you hop from tenant to tenant. And I know that most people don't hop from tenant to tenant, so
yeah,
I'll also
probably
say
less of an issue.
This particular feature on the Mac, while it says you can change it on every channel, when you set it for one channel, it sets it for all the channels.
Okay, good feature. Love it. Moving on.
Yeah.
All right, so we also have the ability to choose where files open or where they're downloaded to. And so I knew about the files open. Todd helped me realize there was a download option. Essentially what this is when you see a link in a post, that it shows up like it does in the top. Oh, I have my pointer. Use the pointer. It shows up like this when it's in a post. And so you've put a link to a file and then it resolves to this thing. And then that ... right there gives you this new open in. And so you can say open in Teams or, open in the browser or PowerPoint app. That is really cool. I've been using this a lot. Although what I found, and people know that I do present on the PMP SIG call, and so it used to be that I would just click on this icon to modify my slide in the PowerPoint deck, and it would just automatically open in Teams. Well, now it doesn't. It automatically opens in the browser, which is the default, except for because I'm a guest, that doesn't work. So I have to know that I have to click the ... open in and then pick Teams so that I can actually edit this document. So from a user experience perspective, that really is not fun at all.
Well, again, that's, multiple tenants we're sort of an exception there. So I think when you're in a single tenant and you make your setting, you're probably going to be quite comfortable.
I would agree with that.
And I want to call out the save where you download. I don't download a lot of files from Teams, so this didn't really bother me. But I've got a buddy, shout out to my buddy Lance, who is not a techie necessarily, but he hates this. And like for when his company switched to Teams, every time him and I would have lunch, he would yell at me about how Teams would always only download to his download folder, and he would have to move it every single time. And so I can't wait till the next time I see him so I can tell him that this is in here where you can pick where it downloads every single time.
Right.
Well, and as we were talking about this and you informed us all that we had the option, now we're all happier.
Well,
yeah.
all of you have that option except me.
Right. And so I was just going to say that.
Why
So
do you
the
have a
Mac-
happy? Oh, you have a sad Mac at the top.
Yeah,
I see.
so, well,
Two Macs.
the Mac client supports 50% of this. It does support defaulting the file opening preference, but not the download, not the download.
I agree with Caleb. Every time Derek complains about something that doesn't work on the Mac, I'm like, you chose the fruit computer.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly,
I did.
Caleb. Get a real computer.
Hey,
I say the same thing to AC.
but it
all the
looks so
time, too.
cute.
Oh, sure, whatever. Costs more, doesn't work as well. Sounds great.
Yeah, and
Well,
But he's so much more stylish, which is important.
oh, yeah, cute does not equal productive. I like it, Caleb.
Hey,
So
Caleb,
it,
I'm very
looks-
productive, my friend.
I couldn't decide if I should make that joke or not.
yeah. So as you can see, this lower slide here is settings. So these are Teams client settings. And so if you go to the settings section and then you go to files and links, you'll be able to choose where your download folder location is, and or this little slide that allows you to say, ask me every time I download so I can pick where I want it. And then further, there's a file open preference here. Full disclosure, did not check whether if I changed tenants. So the team settings, when you switch organizations, there are team settings that go with that organization. And I did not check to see whether or not this was an option in a different tenant and whether it can be set differently, but maybe I should check that because it might make me much happier as a guest. But I suspect that this is a setting for the Teams client all up, and thereby whatever I pick is what I'm going to get for every organization that I belong to. So that is that one. Okay, moving on. This one I actually love. I found out because I read all the documentation, or I skimmed through all the documentation. So I found this new one. I used it the other day because Derek answered a question for me like a week ago, and I remembered he'd answered it to me in chat. And so I tried this out and it worked great, and I found my answer. So essentially this is when you're either in a post in a channel, post section in a channel, or you're in a chat, you can do Ctrl-F and it gives you this pop out search area, and then it searches only in that area where you are. So whether it be the chat or the channel. So if you know where that thing is, this is a way easier to find what you're looking for than when you use the search bar at the top of the Teams client. This is definitely a significantly improved experience. Has anybody else used this yet, or is it just me?
Oh yeah, I use it all
No,
the
but
time.
it sounds great.
Oh. So this is Mac
I used to do it
approved.
all
I
the
see that.
time,
Mac
and
approved.
Control-F did a different thing before, and it wasn't a helpful thing. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
So this is a natural gesture for me for searching in all of the Office apps. So this is not. It's got to be better.
Except Outlook Mail. If you do it in Outlook Mail,
That's
it
true.
forwards your message.
which I also do a lot because
Yep.
it's a gesture I'm really familiar with. But
Yep.
but yeah, this and this is within the particular chat or channel where you currently are, correct? As opposed to
Yes.
the search box up at the top, which is searching across everything.
Yeah,
That's correct.
It really does put I mean, I know for my use cases a lot. I'm like, oh, I talked with Julie about this at a certain, a while back, and I have no idea where it was.
Right. And that's what happened because I was looking for a menu
Yeah.
that we agreed on for lunch, and I'm like, Derek approved something in our chat, and I don't remember which ones we were. So
Yep.
I Control-F'd on Turkey and found it. And that worked out quite well. So, all right. So that's the cool new find feature. We like that a lot.
So I just want to
All
say I've been trying to find something that Stefan sent me a while back, and I've never been able to find it. And I just found it because of that.
Yes!
Yay!
Oh, I forgot. I need to go to the thing and do the gesture and do the
Yes.
arms, because
Yes.
if my video were on, you would see me raising my arms. I want the video to behave like what I'm doing. Okay, presenter view. I am looking at this right now, and so this is a screenshot of us looking at this. So some new presenter view features. So pretty cool. We've got all the like markers and all that stuff. I'm almost scared to like try to highlight something because I don't know if I can delete it after. Oh, I can erase it. How's that work? Oh, okay, erase. So you can hit the highlighter or the pen and you can draw, and then you got that nice little laser pointer, or switch back to your pointer. And then there's some more options there to hide presenter view and view the slides in high contrast and translate the slides. If you click the translate the slides, then it puts the translations up on the screen, which is kind of cool. And then there's this speaker coach. That's the little icon with the little mic in front of it. And what I found when I tested this earlier is that if you turn the speaker coach on, it like records while you have it on, and then you can turn it off. And then it gives you, it must use some type of AI thing, and it gives you like an email that's like an overview of, you know, the fact that I pause and say or whatever, that kind of thing. So it's like reviewing how you presented. So that's an interesting little feature.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No,
I think the translate slides is an awesome thing. It translates the text in the slide, which is different than like giving you a transcript of the talking. The thing that I think a lot of people are going to have to think a little differently about. So for example, that slide that you've got on the top right there, the ask and praxis and then the date. Ask and praxis is an image, so it can't be translated. Any text boxes can be translated. And I think that's awesome for accessibility. You know, you don't have to do the work as the presenter. Teams does the work for you so that people can understand in their native language.
I'm pretty sure the text update presenter view is in a thing, and I don't know if I did this, what would happen for everybody else. We could try it. Dish. Oh, it's going to do them all. Watch me break our entire presentation.
I think that
wow. Does anybody see that but me?
See it. No, only you will see it because it's translating for you.
Well, it did.
But if I want to look at it in Dutch, I'll be able to do that.
Yeah, well, it did. It switched all the Dutch. Okay, so at any rate, that is the new awesome presenter mode stuff.
Sorry, Deutsch.
Pretty good.
Deutsch. German.
Limited number of languages at the moment.
Yes.
Nederlanders, Dutch.
So that is pretty cool. All right. It's all English to me. Okay, so there is a new people experience. I can't say that I'll ever use this, but essentially using my laser pointer, this ... here allows you to search for new apps. And if you search for new apps and type people in, then you get this new people experience, which is your contacts, your favorites. You can add contacts here, sort of find them. If you use PTSN calling, you can, call people from Teams, all of that. So I think it's useful for people who do that kind of thing. I don't, so it's not particularly necessary for me. But I could see it being useful for others. So that built-in.
Yeah, I think this is another one of those. If you're a Teams first kind of organization, this is a great UI to have. You don't have to context switch. I mean, those of us who've been using Outlook for 45 years are switching into Outlook all the time, so we're used to that. But this keeps you right in Teams.
Yeah, for sure. And I think also I would suspect that this would be super, super helpful for mobile organizations, right? We have several ourselves clients that are, a lot of mobile employees. And so like to be able to have the contacts right here in your Teams client without having to switch all around is even more powerful than the context switching on your personal computer, I think. So that'll be a good one. And it looks like we're Mac happy on this one. So
We are Mac happy.
I
on
didn't
this
even
one.
ask. Did the presenter view was presenter view Mac
Mixed
happy?
results on that. I mean, I have the translate slides, but I didn't
Oh, okay.
have all the fun bells and whistles, the erasers
Aw.
and the pointers and that kind of stuff.
Wah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I mean, in the
All
grand
right.
scheme of things, it's like, we'll wait till we get to the last slide when I get to bitch and moan about Macs, but
All right. If
or
that'll make you
Teams
feel
on the
better.
Mac.
So you're seeing that we decided we were all gonna, so we do a prep meeting on Monday, and we decided we were playing around with the avatars, and we decided we were all gonna use our avatars for this meeting. To me, this meeting only, because I don't really love it. And actually, I'd be interested, even if people don't want to come off mute, like, what's people's opinions? Like, put your opinions in the chat. I'm feeling like I can't be as engaged with my fellow Simpraxians while in avatar mode, because I'm not really seeing their facial features and their expressions and the reactions and whatever. I don't know how other people feel, but I'm not loving it. This would not be something I would choose or want, in general, but yeah, all my nodding and snickering is hidden. Exactly. There is that. I guess maybe that's good. So
Yeah, I thought
so
that might be a plus for you.
I don't know. I don't know if it is or isn't. Steve, good point. It is good for lurking. Like if you want to kind of half pay attention, it makes you sort of seem like you're paying more attention, I suppose. But as a presenter, it doesn't feel as good, I suspect.
And here's a fun thing. So earlier in this call, I had to sneeze, so I muted my mic, and then as I normally do, I stepped out of camera range, not realizing I had my avatar on. So
Yep. Yeah, right.
I could have just stood here and sneezed all over my keyboard and been fine with it since I'm using my avatar.
Yeah, I think it. I've been watching Julie's avatar as she's been presenting, and I feel like you lose some of your you-ness when you're presenting. I think Eunice was my piano teacher when I was a kid. So I think perhaps, I mean, I know that there are good reasons to use avatars at various times, but I think when you're presenting, it's probably better to be you. And if you want to, sort of be reacting as part of a crowd, we're the only ones who are on camera at the moment. So I think it's a different dynamic.
Yeah, and I hate the fact that the reactions are so far away.
Yeah. So using the reactions. Yeah. And do you have yours open, like in the sides?
I do. I have to make a choice. So I have my reactions open so I can, and I kind of know what you're going to say, so I can pick out the one in advance, right? So I even have a heads up of what's coming. And then I have my Teams other window set to the chat, because I can't do reactions and chat at the same time without using two windows, which I don't like at all. I think that's a really big commitment to, I would argue, I have to be way more involved in this meeting, and I'm way more distracted trying to get my avatar to represent my reactions than if I was just doing it in the meeting.
I had to change my hair 3 times. I mean, it's
and put your glasses on. Yeah, so if you
could put my glasses on so I could see.
So to Mark's point about the engagement, like I think, because initially we were hoping the avatars would follow our bodies, and if we did something, the avatar would do it. We figured out pretty quick we have to do these reactions, which is fine. We can do that, but they're like 7 clicks away, so you can never react even artificially to a thing because it's 7 clicks away.
Yeah. Caleb, avatars solved for the folks during COVID who forgot to wear clothes to their meetings.
I mean,
yes,
that happened once, Caleb.
Sometimes we're the target audience for things, and sometimes we're not. I think that the Simpraxis group, we present a lot, so we're very comfortable being on camera and waving our arms around that you can't see right now.
Right.
Other people are less comfortable, in a room of people, and this gives them a good option. So it's cool. I think that we probably won't use it as much as some other people, which is cool.
I'm in full avatar's way better at dancing.
Yes, that's true. If I want a bus to move, I'm definitely going to be an avatar.
And I'm laughing so hard I can't talk.
That's the clip.
Sorry, I'm
That's
just
the clip
seeing
for
a
the
dancing
YouTube.
baby on the screen right now.
Yeah.
And I do have to say, that it's hard to make your avatar feel right. I mean, it's a lot of work to get that look that you think you have. I'm still not happy with mine, and I spent too much time on it.
Yeah, and then you can tell by the screenshot that you can have multiple avatars. I got okay, like it wasn't bad. I got pretty close pretty quickly. I have tweaked a few things since I took the screenshot, but it wasn't that bad to get something sort of representative. What's funny is this hairstyle is actually just slicked back, but it was the closest representation to my low pony that I normally wear, or like messy bun on the back of my head. So yeah, it's certainly not correct. Clearly we're Mac happy.
When I click a link in a Teams invitation, it has to go through a check to make sure that link is right. So there's this big delay before it launches the meeting for me to join. So I sometimes get stuck. It's not there yet. And so I click it a few times and it sort of makes the whole machine slow down and stop. So I think that there's still some things there that are not optimal on Windows either and are similar to some of your woes.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that they'll get it right, but you never know.
I think we have just experienced another team situation, because did anybody else know? I didn't do anything, but all of a sudden I got this recording has started and the recording has stopped saving. Yep. So we'll see what we actually have here. I have a feeling that this is going to be only the people who joined us today are going to get the benefit of this wonderful presentation that we just put on. That's fine. That's what you get when you get here. All right. We have a link to the content that we sort of got some of this information out of. So absolutely check that out for some more ones that we didn't present on. And then finally, we are not having a session on November 1st. We have too many people are not going to be around. Derek and I will be at 365 EduCon, and others will be away on vacation and other things. So November 1st, no session. And then November 15th, we'll do a sort of a Thanksgiving episode. This is also the Ignite. Ignite will be happening this morning. So we're going to try to figure out what we can talk about and what we can't talk about in the recording. So we'll do features we're thankful for. And so Collab Days New England this weekend. If you're a New England person, definitely come join us for that. And also, as I already mentioned, 365 EduCon, Derek and I will be there. All righty. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Glad to have you here. And we'll
And now we're all waving soon. And you can't tell.
Bye.
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 Thank you so much for joining us this week on Ask Praxis. We love getting your questions or session ideas. You can submit by using the link in About. If you find this helpful, hit that like or subscribe button and share this content with your colleagues.